Welcome to Sharp or Square, presented by Hard Rock Bet. We are part of the Volume Podcast Network. This is the betting show that makes the squares sharper. It makes the wise guys pay attention. I am Chad Millman. I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, my BFF, my companion, my compadre, professional bettor, Simon Hunter. Hello, Simon.
Chad, it has been an amazing weekend for a person like me that is the ultimate hater. And what I mean by that is people don't know, I want success for my own teams, but I want failure for the teams I hate. And this was an amazing weekend if you hate the Mets like I do. The Mets had a historical Met down. I know people don't follow baseball, it's a football show, but basically the Mets were a shoo-in to make the playoffs and had an epic collapse and did not make the playoffs literally on the last game of the year. And again, as a Phillies fan, I get it. We're, I think, the favorite to win the World Series. Baseball, that means nothing. It's so fluky. You need a ton of luck. The right guys get hot. So as a baseball fan, I truly am a hater watch. The fact that the Mets are already out, I don't have to worry about the Braves, the Mets. The Phillies could lose to the Reds. I would be upset, but I won't be as upset as I would be if it's a Mets. So, yeah, it was an amazing weekend if you're a hater of the Mets and them getting knocked out. And then even better, Cowboys tied. Couldn't even get a win, the Cowboys. They had to tie a game. So very fun weekend for someone like me as a Philadelphia sports fan.
Listen, I am a huge Phillies fan, as you and I had discussed. Even though I'm from Chicago, obviously the Cubs are my loyalty, and I'm going to want the Cubs to advance and win the World Series. But you know how much I love Phillies TikTok. You know how much I love going to Phillies games. You know how much I love Phillies fans. I think they're the kindest and most supportive of all fans in Philly. The Mets collapse has been something else. I can't tell you how many calls I've been on in the past week where Mets fans have just been lamenting and in agony. You know who didn't collapse this past weekend, Simon?
Caleb Williams.
You and me. You and me and the Sharp or Square podcast record, because we went 3-2 last week in our 5 favorite picks from our Sunday morning show. We won with the Rams, Raiders, and Lions, lost predictably with the Chargers, and got bakered by the Bucs. Just a reminder, folks, you're going to see the graphic. We're keeping track of everything here. Make sure you check out that Sunday AM show if you want the games that will ultimately be our official 5 after we've reviewed the latest line moves from Thursday to Sunday, the injuries. As I said, for the year, we're 12-8, 60% through the first month, Simon, of the football season. I'll take it. I know that you will too.
Yeah, painful. We're not 14-6. We left a couple out there. And
we did.
Whenever we do these type of record boards flash up, I mean, going with the red for our loss weeks is going to be painful.
Oh,
we
God.
string together a couple bad weeks midway through the season. So, yeah, gotta keep it in that green. Got to get that 3-2 every week.
We definitely left a couple wins on the board that we just didn't include, like Atlanta last weekend. We screwed that up, right? But we also, the bounces have gone our way this year more often than not. So I'm thrilled to be at 12-8. This is our Tuesday show. We're going to review the entire slate. We are entering that part of the season, Simon, where the really, 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 really bad teams are the ones that start lighting up in our models as teams that we have to bet. So we're going to have some of those gross conversations today. And there's different sort of stratospheres of bad teams to bet, and some are just eye test bad, and some are bad spot, can they bounce back bad? So that's going to be what's interesting when we chat today. Don't forget, get the shows at Sharp or Square on YouTube. Go subscribe and like this video while you're at it. You can subscribe to Sharp or Square on Apple Pods, Spotify, etc. All right. We're going to kick this thing off with Thursday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. Eastern on Amazon Prime. Somebody wake up Al Michaels. Our beloved Rams are on. Here's what's interesting. You know, you and I Sunday night, ending the month of September, had a conversation about the teams that we think might be the best in the NFL. And I said Eagles and you said Rams. And what's interesting to me is in the last 48 hours, I've gone through, I like to go through all the stats. I look at Pro Football Focus. I look at Next Gen Stats. The Rams' underlying metrics actually do have them as the best team in the NFL, better than the Eagles. Kudos to you, Simon, for being a professional bettor who got it right in the moment on Sunday night.
Yeah, and not that the numbers mean nothing, right? It's some teams that certain matchups and who they played against and everything like that matters early in the season. So for me, it was just looking at who they played and how they played and what I've seen from their defense and obviously from Stafford, where I was just so worried about his back, right? Anyone that misses a month of summer camp, and it turns out it was the right move, right? Maybe he re-aggravated it and they just wanted to rest, get it right, and he came back at the exact right time. He's looked great through 4 weeks, and like we said last week, he had a couple, 4 or 5 drives where they just went 3 and out. They had no rhythm. That's kind of what Stafford can be like, right? He is a guy that needs to get in rhythm. You've seen the best sometimes for him is their 2-minute drill when he's just dropping back, passing. They're not thinking. He's just in the flow state. So I love this team. That was a miss on us by Sunday night. This was -3 Sunday night. And I did look at it, and my whole thought
let me just set it up here for a second. The Niners are visiting the Rams. It opened at 3. It went to 3.5. Injury news around Brock Purdy and potentially Mac Jones has moved this to 5.5. So I apologize, but continue.
And we knew that Purdy might have been banged up from that game where, like, he had a bunch of stuff that just didn't look right. He wasn't moving great. And, if they make the decision to go with Mac Jones, how can you not love the Rams here? This would be a horrible spot to put Mac Jones in. And against a Rams team that, I feel like they understand that this is a big deal. This is the team that they're going to probably most likely face at the top divisionally, and you need to get them while you can, right? The 49ers have had the Ravens are the 2 by far worst injury luck teams. I guess Bengals fans want a fair fight with Joe Burrow, but I'm talking about the whole team. Like, the amount of injuries the 49ers had across the board, it's been insane. So, you saw last week, Purdy kept them in the game. They had chances to win. I don't know if Stafford will do the same here. So at this number, Chad, if we're thinking Purdy's out, 5.5, I'll take it for now. It's just a number I'm betting that if Purdy is out, this will be in every parlay, all the teasers, everything's going to be tied to this Rams team. So I easily see this getting up to 6.5 if it is indeed a Mac Jones start here. So wanted to be on the 49ers here. This was going to be a 49ers line and spot. But now with all the injury stuff, it's just I'm on Rams, or I'll just stay away completely in this game.
Yeah, what's interesting is the 3.5 up to 5.5. That doesn't seem like enough of a move for going from Brock Purdy to Kyle Shanahan. And by the way, from Brock Purdy to Mac Jones. And by the way, Mac Jones is injured too. Like, he's got a bum knee right now. Do you know who the third string quarterback is for the San Francisco 49ers?
I do, but no, I can't remember on top of my head.
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Adrian Martinez. Adrian Martinez, you might remember, was a quarterback who never quite got Nebraska over the hump.
Nebraska, yes, I do remember him.
And then he went to Kansas State, and then he was undrafted in 2023. And right now his claim to fame is that he was the UFL MVP in 2024. So tell me, with Brock Purdy injured and Mac Jones nursing a bad knee, how is it only 5.5?
I hope it stays Mac Jones. I don't want that kid coming in, Chad, because I do remember from college, and he is very, 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 very Colin Kaepernick light. Like, he's that type of running style quarterback that, like, I could see Kyle using him in the same way that, Harbaugh back in the day used to use Kaepernick. Yeah, that's an interesting play because I didn't know it was him. I thought it was some other veteran as their third string. So yeah, I'm on the same boat where I hope it's Mac Jones, and obviously I'm not gonna be scared off if it is this kid coming in, but I can squint my eyes enough to see in his first start, like we always say, with no tape, that could be a sneaky spot play for them. But I think you're right. I think they're gonna still go with Mac Jones even if he's banged up. Kyle just likes the veteran quarterback, and I got to run his system. So, like you said, he's got a little injury himself. This number's going up. Like, I'm looking at a couple of public books right now, 5.5. I think that's very, very, very true what Chad's saying here, that the number probably hasn't moved enough, and maybe we are getting good value here as long as it's below 6.
All right. Well, that's interesting. We might want to think about that today. Simon, you know my favorite place in the world is London, England. I know that you have an English passport. You know that I'm really, really good at accents. So guess what we're doing? We're heading out to international waters, my friend, because at 9:30 a.m. Eastern from jolly old London, England, we've got another brekkie. We're getting the full English.
Yeah.
I'm going all of it. I'm going all of it. We got Cleveland visiting, not visiting, but Cleveland at Minnesota. They kind of are visiting. Vikings are 3.5-point favorites because the Vikings got there by the time this game is played almost 2 weeks ago. All the acclimation, all the sort of sleep deprivation, all the jet lag out of their system. Cleveland is getting there this week. This one befuddles me a little bit because the line opened at 5.5 and it's moved to 3.5. I can't figure it out. Like, Kevin Stefanski has already been non-committal about if Joe Flacco is going to be the quarterback, meaning they may bring in Dylan Gabriel. Joe Flacco, we've been saying this every week. He's truly horrendous. We bet him on week 1 because it was a great spot at home against the Bengals. We bet on him last week, against them last week, because it was a great spot to fade the Browns on the road. Now we're getting the Browns going overseas against a Minnesota team that offensively is doing well enough. And defensively, it's either going to be Joe Flacco against Brian Flores and him having to move, which he can't, or Dylan Gabriel, all 5'11" of Dylan Gabriel, going against Brian Flores in his first game in an international game. Why is this moving in the Browns' direction?
I mean, have you seen the Vikings offensive line and their depth chart?
It's bad.
It's bad. It is so bad. And, you know, this total has been dropping too. I think it opened in the 40s and it's down to 36.5. So professional money have come in heavy on the under. They've come in heavy on this Browns team. And, like, my first thought was, you know, aren't we going to want to fade this Browns team? Because
mine too.
Yeah, I like the Browns at home. That's going to be something I'm going to stand by, that they're just going to be a different team at home. And two scariest words in the world, Chad: the Browns away. The Browns are in England. So it's like, this isn't a home game. They're on the road. I know it's outdoors on grass, but it scares me a little bit. I wanted to be on the Browns, honestly, because you're getting this incredible defense against a guy that, yes, he can string it together at some points with those incredible weapons, Carson Wentz, but you've gotten the full-on Carson Wentz experience. He's going to be running around behind that bad offensive line with one hand on the ball, trying to do spin moves, 20 yards back. Like, he just can't help himself. So you are playing with fire in this game. I'll take the dog, but, like, it's another thing like Pittsburgh last week. I took Pittsburgh with zero confidence, just simply playing the number that they had made Carson Wentz a favorite on the road somewhere, and it feels like the same thing here. I'm trying not to overthink it. That Chad is right. The Browns with Flacco, it's looked putrid, but Flacco's the type of quarterback that he won't be scared by, the defense that the Vikings run of these safeties running down to the line and sprinting back 20 yards. Like, he doesn't care about all that movement, all the stuff like that. Where if it is Gabriel, you're right, Chad, I probably wouldn't be as heavily invested. You don't want a rookie going against a Flores defense. We always know that's never going to work out for them with all the different looks you'll get. So, yeah, this number, like Chet said, there's a couple 4.5 still out there in Cleveland. Hard Rock was one of the first to move to 3.5. So, some very, very smart professional money has moved this number. And I'm looking at the splits right now. The public is joining them. The public is on Cleveland with the professionals. Here we are on Tuesday. So, interesting. Everyone's just totally out on that Vikings team. There might be value on this Vikings team, like we're saying, but we have to wait for it to get to the 3, in my opinion.
I'm not looking to play the Browns here. I'm looking for this number to get as low as possible so I can be comfortable playing the Vikings. So
I would have 4.5. If you can get a 4.5 on the Browns, I would play that.
Because I want to enjoy, I'll probably have my cottage cheese with a little bit of cinnamon and some fresh fruit. Maybe throw some chia seeds in there. Really, really ramp it up to get ready for a long day of football while I'm watching the football. But I don't want to be on the Browns here. I think there are certain spots for the Browns. This doesn't feel like one of them to me. Now we're going to get interesting. Miami at Carolina. Carolina, 1.5 point favorite. As we came on the air, I had not seen this line move. So if it moved in any direction, I'm not aware of it yet. We have assiduously avoided betting the Panthers. We have not been suckered by their promise or the flashes of Bryce Young in garbage time, whether it was against the Pats last week in which they dominated the box score mainly because they were down 28-6 by halftime. We actually liked the Pats this past weekend in a spot the wise guys liked Carolina. The defense also made Drake May look kind of perfect. 14-17, averaging 10 yards per attempt. The market did correct, right? So after they got blown out, it moved from Carolina -1 to Carolina +1.5 before the Monday Night Football game. But then, even after the Dolphins win, it had moved back and stayed at Carolina -1.5. Everything in this game says I want to bet Carolina. Historically, this is where we should back Carolina, especially off a primetime win for the Dolphins and off of a blowout loss for Carolina. Here's the one thing that's holding me back. These flips from +1.5 to -1.5, the dogs just always end up being on the wrong side. We've seen it a couple times this year, Ravens and Raiders. What am I doing here? What's sharp? What's square? Give me the lean and tell me if my lean on Carolina is sharp, because I want it to be.
It's definitely the sharp side, Carolina. But that's the movement on this one is interesting because it was -1, -1.5 last week, and it flipped, like you said, just for a little bit to Miami, and it didn't matter what the Miami outcome was going to be. If Miami got rolled, I still think this would have flipped back to the Panthers. I still think the professionals would have came in on this Panthers side. And last week, I know you didn't see it. That was such a Miami spot that were 0-3 playing against a bad team at home. And I know historical data showed people that 0-3 teams, you just blindly take the dog. I think it's a 60% bet. But that's Tua's spot. Tua against a bad team at home, especially the Jets, who I think he's never lost to at home. He wins those games. And this is the type of game that old Tua from just 2 years ago would win. He's going to play a bad Panthers defense. He should light this defense up. But we've seen they are just a bad team. They're inconsistent, especially on the defensive side. So last week, the Panthers had opportunities against the Patriots. It was just a horrible Bryce Young game. He was terrible. I went back and watched the film. Bad throws. Even on throws, he's connecting with guys. He's throwing either behind them, slowing them up so they have to drop back to catch it and fall down, and just not being what you need Bryce Young to be, which is he's supposed to be insanely accurate. It's the one thing he was supposed to be great at in college. You saw this year in the games they've won and they've played well, he's been really on target. Like, his throws have been incredible. So it is tough where you are spot on. This is such a Panthers spot. This is a Panthers number against a bad Miami team that, to me, is just going to be overrated now by the public because what you just said, what they did in that primetime game where their defense, I think Chuba Hubbard could have a huge game in this matchup.
Yes.
And I'm going to dive more into this Panthers team because they have injuries as well to their offensive line and see what I can find out there. But as we sit here right now, I think your initial read of this being a Panthers spot is true. This was almost my Simon Says pick, but it's like I've punished the fans enough. I want to find something a little grosser than this one. And, the Panthers right now, it feels like you can be patient if you want. Like, there is one book out there that still has them as a dog. I think they're all going to flip to Panthers being a favorite. So I just don't see it going back to Miami being a favorite in this spot. I think it's going to be Panthers professional money while the public is going to come in on this Miami side, especially the +1.5. They're going to love that number on Miami.
So you think the professional money is just going to outweigh anything that the public does on the Dolphins? Because, like, maybe it could get down to one. Maybe it could get down to pick. You know what I mean?
I mean, I can look now. There are ones out there. Yeah, there's a bunch of ones out there. And there's a book right now that has it at half a point. So it's like you could shop around I mean, I don't want to say it doesn't matter because we just saw it literally happen last week with the Bears and the Raiders.
We've seen it happen a couple times this year.
But yeah, it's an interesting proposition where if you could obviously get that +1.5, that's the spot you want to be in with this Panthers team. But I still think that the -1 is a good number on this Panthers side. I like that number for them in this matchup.
I'm looking as well. I see one spot that is at Panthers -0.5. So I don't know. It's scary when we see that line flipping because we know sort of historically that move is against you if you take the favorite. If you take the team that closes as the favorite. So I was with you though. I was thinking about making that Chad loves. I'm not sure I'm ready to dive into the Panthers yet so aggressively. We'll probably end up wanting to play them in some capacity. Las Vegas Raiders visiting the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are 6.5-point favorites. You mentioned grabbing this on Sunday night when it opened, assuming it would go up. It did. It went to 7. Then it came back down. I think you and I are both much more impressed with Indy's loss against the Rams. Sort of solidified them as a good team that wasn't an early season fluke. A lot of Colts bettors and fans would say they should have won that game pretty easily, if not for Adonai Mitchell and his, fumble across the goal line and the holding call on a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. I mean, that's 14 points right there. It's hard to exaggerate how important that was to the game. And look, Geno Smith has just been terrible. Like, we love Geno. We thought he'd be a difference maker, a veteran presence for this team with really good talent. He's been awful. Just awful.
Yeah, it's I knew this was going to be a super public play. I said it Sunday. This was going to be one more public spots for this Colts team, and it's looking that way. It's a handful of professional bettors reached out to me. They like the Raiders. They like them at +7, and it's what we view. The same thing. It's you're getting Geno once again indoors, and we've seen him be able to push the ball downfield. And these last couple of weeks, maybe it is just a fluke, right? It's him getting comfortable in a new offense, but I see a guy that just simply cannot see the field right now. He is throwing it to guys that are just not open at all, with defensive players literally right there next to the guy. Like, It's not as if it's a super tight window. I'm talking about a defender on him that Geno has, before the ball's even snapped, made the read in his mind. I'm throwing to this guy no matter what. You do not want to be seeing that from a 10-year vet in this league. It's really bad with Geno because you can just see he's in his own head. He's not playing free. This is the worst he's looked since the first year for the Seahawks, where he was working through things and you saw him getting better throughout the couple of years there at Seattle. Right now he looks totally regressed. He looks terrible. Raiders, I'm telling you, they're going to be the professional side. I mean, their early line movement showed that. I really thought this was going to get to 7.5. Like we were saying, this was steaming up. We came on Sunday. It opened 5.5, went to 6, went right to 6.5, got up to 7. Now it's kind of settled in here at 6.5. No opinion on it right now. I'm really, really trying hard not to just give out this cold side because I love it so much. I'm already on the cold side, but I want to see what the professionals do this line as this week goes along, because I need to hear more about why they like this Raiders team so much in this spot against a Colts team that I think we both agreed they look legit like a playoff team. This is the type of team that good playoff teams who coming off a loss on the road come home and they beat up on bad teams at home in this spot. So I think the number is warranted. It's good respect for the books giving this number to the Colts. The question is, has the number moved too much, Chad? And that's what I'm worried about here. So I'll be patient. We'll talk about this game on Thursday, and we'll hear a bunch more calls about it on Short Calls.
Yeah, we're trying to thread the needle a little bit here. The last couple of years, the favorites, when they're a significantly better team, are winning at margin. And so we're trying not to just do what historically, quote unquote, the professional betting community would do and take the worst team in a number that's getting to a touchdown automatically just because that's what you're supposed to do, which is why I'm with you. I sort of look at this and think, all right, this feels sneaky to me. And maybe it's we're overthinking it, but I kind of want to be in the Colts and I want to figure out how to get there.
Yeah, and we'll see too as the season goes along here. Because right now, that's why I'm upset that we don't have a better record. This has honestly been one of the best starts in my professional career to a season. It feels like all the dogs we love, they're all coming through. The easy chalk favorites against these really bad teams that we just don't trust are coming through. And I'm interested to see what it goes along here as the season progresses, because the dogs, like Chad said, they fell off a cliff. We could not stop going 2-3 last year because no matter what, that third dog or that fourth dog we took in our contest would just get rolled. We're not used to that. Usually they would cover or at least keep these games close. So that's what I'm excited to see, because we're through 4 weeks. It's honestly been a dream. Like if you, especially guys I know who just simply fade the public, they have been cashing at an alarming rate. I mean, how like that Cowboys-Packers game is the prime example. I think last Sunday I said, I don't care what the number was for the Cowboys, you're going to have to fade that Green Bay team. This number is going to get a bit too inflated. I think it touched 7 at some point last week.
Yeah.
And
7.5.
Right. And it's like that's what should be happening. We're used to that, right? Those examples. Like Chad's saying, last year, the Green Bay wins that game by 20. It was very bizarre last year what was happening with the favorites. So right now, I think it's looking good for us. We can stay confident in betting our ugly dogs. But if we have 2-3 weeks in a row, we get burned, like say week 9, 10, and 11, I do think we'll have a major discussion where we need to make those adjustments that last year we didn't make and this year we're going to make. So we've done well this year. We've been putting favorites in.
Yeah.
They've been coming through for us. I think we got to stay the course that we at least always get one favorite in our picks. And this week, I don't know about you, I have a couple favorites I like, but this one here, it's another favorite. I like the Colts -6.5.
Houston at Baltimore. Baltimore's a 3.5-point favorite right now. Dude, this was at 9 on Monday morning. 9. By Monday afternoon, it was at 3.5 because of all the news about Lamar Jackson, in addition to all the other Ravens injuries. But this is really about Lamar Jackson and his uncertain status because of his hamstring. Here's what I find interesting. I alluded to it earlier. The Ravens might be without Lamar, and the line moves, about 5.5 points with the potential downgrade to Cooper Rush. The Niners might be without Brock Purdy. The line only moves 2 points with the downgrade to Mac Jones. So my questions for you before we get into the game, is Lamar really only worth 5.5 points more than Cooper Rush? And is Brock really only worth 2 more points than Mac Jones?
Yeah, I would say don't read too much into these like dumb articles. That's like bookmakers say this quarterback's worth this many points to this team, and it's all about that game, that situation, and I think people overreact way too much to it, because you've seen it with the Bengals. Is Joe Burrow not worth 20 points to that team?
Clearly.
So that's what I mean. It's very stupid when someone's like, well, this bookmaker here says Lamar Jackson is the highest rated. He's worth 8 points to this team. Oh, fucking K. Like, it's all about the game, the matchup, and the situation. So you're right. It opened 9.5. It quickly went to 7.5. Hard Rock here in Jersey is at 3. And I keep saying Hard Rock to me is one of the sharper books. That, like on whatever it was, 2 in the morning or 1 in the morning on Saturday night, I tweeted they were the first book I saw go to the Chiefs +2. And people are like, what does that mean? I'm like, that means really smart professional money sitting in that Hard Rock number. Same thing's happening here. The professionals are taking a stand. If this number is dipping to 3, that means they think they know something here. So I was going to be wait and see. I've jumped in. I'm making Texans. Simon says, grab the 3.5 right now. I'm going to trust that movement. Even if Lamar does play, something is wrong here. You saw him get caught by guys, some linebackers on that Chiefs team. Never, ever, ever, ever catch Lamar. Does not happen. If you even go back a week, it looked like he lost half a step. So I think this is an injury he's been battling through. You throw in all the injuries now the Ravens have had to their team, this is an amazing spot for Houston. That, not that their offense found something last week, but I think that Woody Marks ad, having a running back like him with that speed out of the backfield that can catch and run, I think that's going to take Houston up another level now, where they were trying to force in Nick Chubb. It was not working. I think Woody Marks is a huge upgrade at the running back position. Now you add in that CJ feels like he has a rhythm going up against a front 4 of this Ravens team that can't get pressure and can't stop the run. I'm going to take this number, and if it is Cooper Rush, I think Chad's right. What will this number end up at, right? Is it going to be a pick? Is this going to flip to Houston being a favorite? let's get ahead of it. I'm going to grab that 3.5. If Lamar comes back, at worst, I see this getting up to 4.5. I don't see him moving the number that much because I don't think he's right. I think he is banged up, and this is insane. This is crazy how far we've fallen with this Ravens team, but it's just the injuries. They've been bitten by it. Lamar's been bitten by it. It's just all going bad for this Ravens team, and this is a Houston number here, plus 3.5, I believe.
Yeah, the only thing that scared me, kind of annoyed me, I would have bet it yesterday. I just bet it literally while you were talking. Your urgency inspired me to make the bet while you were talking.
Because the fear is if we're on the show and Lamar's out, this does flip, and it's like, great, now we missed 3 opportunities to get the best of the number in this matchup, and I don't want to miss it here. I don't want the fans to miss it either.
That's exactly what it is. Like, I'm annoyed that I didn't get the 9. I'm annoyed I didn't get the 7. I'm like, are you kidding me that because I was freaking stretching, between stretching and, the 2 hours later when I finally started working on my stuff for the day, I missed the number and I missed 6 points of value here? Are you kidding me?
I know.
That's what's annoying me.
I was going to say, no one wants to hear about your bets you didn't make. My worst one was that early morning game last week with the Vikings. Wentz gets the ball back. I knew he was going to get them downfield and somehow score a touchdown. And I go to hit it live. It's plus 9.5, that Vikings team. And he just, at that exact moment, he throws that bomb. And it's just taken down immediately to 3.5. And it's, like Chad said, you just don't want to miss the number here. So if people are hearing this, grab it now. I think the 3.5 will be gone by the end of Wednesday if we do hear Lamar is out or still not practice this week.
Yeah. Denver at Philadelphia. So look, in the light of day, after the Eagles game against the Bucs, this line started moving down from 5.5 to 5 to 4.5. It got to 4 over the course of late Sunday night and Monday morning. Moved back to 4.5. Clearly some big Eagles bets from professionals on the Eagles at 4. Like, A.J. Brown is very much emoting on social media after the win. I know you saw this. After the win on Sunday against a team that has historically given the Eagles a lot of trouble, he tweeted, "If you're not welcomed, not listened to, quietly withdraw, don't make a scene, shrug your shoulders, and be on your way." And then, of course, Nick Sirianni, mentioned it yesterday, said everything's good, there's no problem. Will they try to target A.J. more? That seems to be the pattern after he sort of makes cryptic comments. I'm a little surprised the line moved back in the Eagles' direction, though.
Yeah, and the Eagles, the media just loves them, right? Because if you're the laziest sports media, you can talk about the Eagles every day if you want for an hour because their fans will engage it. I mean, there's a reason. Like, I'm an Eagles fan. There's no doubt we have some of the dumbest fans. I love it, though. Like, they are so ride or die. It's the best. That's why I don't need to fight with people on the internet. I have plenty of idiots from Philadelphia on the internet memeing people, putting stupid stats that just make zero incoherent sense about how great this team is and how great everything is. And, AJ tweeting that out, yeah, he probably is saying something that we're all taking one way that means something totally different. That's AJ's personality. He's that type of guy. And I love AJ. Like, as an Eagles fan, he's not going anywhere. We talked about it. If they traded him right now, I think it's like $70 million in dead cap. He's not going anywhere for that.
He's not going anywhere.
2-3 years, no matter what. And if you're AJ and you're 4-0 and you're coming off a Super Bowl victory, sure, does he want more touches? I'm sure. But I'm telling you, AJ is not like people make him out to be. He's not T.O. He's not that much of a self-centered narcissist that he's really that mad about not getting touches. Getting back to this game, yeah, this is a Broncos number on a spot. I mean, I tried fading this Eagles teams. They're just, something's not right with them yet, right? They're not comfortable in this new offense. Like I said, they should have not covered that in a million different ways last week. Like, that stat everyone's seen, the fact that they didn't complete a pass in the second half, it was there for Baker to take it. We're doing the same thing here, Chad. We're betting on Bo Nix in a spot that we need Bo Nix to take it, to cover this number, because Hurts is going to get his. Whether it's the first half, second half, they'll eventually get his. Saquon, who hasn't done much this year, this seems like a nice spot for him to get right against a Denver team that, yes, they're a good defense, but you saw like when they played the Colts against a good running back like Jonathan Taylor, he was able to run the ball.
Yeah.
And you saw in the Chargers game with Herbert, you can't push the ball downfield against this Denver team. So like we said, I knew the Denver was going to regression this year. I know they added guys in the offseason. Anytime a team finishes as the number one defense in football, they always regress because they have a harder schedule and teams play them differently. It's really, though, down to Bo Nix, Chad, and that's what's so tough with this number. I believe in it. I think another line that almost made Simon Says because it was 5.5. Like Chad said, some books moved this to 3.5. They're still at 3.5. A bunch of books shot right back up to 4.5. So really interesting that what books are taking professional monies and moving it to 4.5, and what professional money is holding this at 3.5 at other books. So if you like the Denver side, which I do, I grab the 4.5. But if you like the Eagles side, you can find the 3.5 still. And to me, I can't wait to hear the sharp calls because I'm interested to see if there's any professionals on this Eagles side where this just feels like such a sharp side taking this Denver side against an Eagles team that, like we said, is not in rhythm offensively. Still have questions about their defense in some aspects. You saw the big playability they've given up this year. It's that number 2 corner. They just do not have a guy.
Yeah.
And, as an Eagles fan, I cannot be bitter about it. You see what Isaiah Rodgers is doing for that Vikings team. He's like the best corner in football. Howie didn't want to pay the guy like $6 million. And, like, again, Howie, tons of smoke. He's the greatest up his ass. But what a bad miss by him. And, this is going to be an interesting one. Sharp calls. I know we're going to calls about this one. I am telling the pros, call me up if you're taking the Eagles. I want to hear your pitch here because my only reason to back them is you're fading Bo Nix. You're fading Bo Nix, who struggled against playoff teams, especially on the road. This technically is that exact spot to fade Bo Nix, but I can't get over this number and this Eagles team just being overvalued, overrated by the general public right now, and just a team that doesn't look in rhythm. So, 4.5. Looking here at Hard Rock, they're still a +4, so shop around. Try to get the 4.5 if you can on this Denver team.
Here's what's worrying me about the Broncos. Their pass rush is entirely reliant on the blitz at this point. And that's just not going to bother Jalen Hurts. So if there's an opportunity to beat back what is currently the strength of the Broncos defense, in addition to fading Bo Nix off of a massive win, this is sort of a 1 + 1 could equal 4.5 situation to me. There's red flags all over this thing.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to just avoid it altogether. But, my initial read was like, man, that's going to be another time I'm like Denver.
Today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor, Hard Rock Bet. The leaves are falling, but the stakes are rising. Postseason baseball is here, and every swing could change the season. Step up to the plate and take your swing on Hard Rock Bet today. New customers can place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but also $150 in extra bonus bets. Plus, every day this week on Hard Rock Bet, you can get a profit boost for a postseason baseball parlay. There's new promos every day. Boost your same game parlay or SGP Max so your bet pays extra winnings. Here's a baseball parlay I like tonight. I'm going nuts on my hometown, Chicago Cubbies. I'm going Cubs, alt line -2.5, the over, and Matt Shaw to hit a home run. No matter what you like to bet, there's new promos every day, so if you're listening to this later, there's no bad day to download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. I do want to talk about the Giants and the Saints because this is a crazy line, right? It opened Giants +2, Giants -2, and then we talked about it on Sunday night. Then it moved to Saints about -1.5. So we had a pretty decent swing on the Saints. It's another one where I'm a little annoyed. I wasn't aggressive with it on Sunday night when we talked about it. But are we in an age where Jackson Dart, after he was not amazing as a thrower, has lost Malik Neighbors? He's going on the road against a team that, other than one game, has been competitive in the Saints at home. Like, the move makes sense to me, but we lost the window.
what is your hate for Jackson Dart? He did fine throwing the ball. I don't know why he keeps saying he didn't do great.
Because he wasn't that accurate. He missed some throws. Like he
He's
looked like
I thought he made big time throws in that game.
I thought he was like a guy who was a really good runner. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an interesting line movement. Honestly, at first, I thought this was going to be Russell Wilson news. I thought someone's going to come out that Dart is banged up, and Russell Wilson comes back. Because I'm like you, I couldn't believe this had moved so many. Because it did get up to 2.5. Like I got Saints 2.5. There's a couple of books now that are already showing -2 on this Saints side. So that is either Russell Wilson is playing or really, really, really respected big money is just hammering this Saints side, and they just keep moving this number. So my initial read was this is the Saints spot. This is the Saints side. It was going to be very easy to fade Dart off that win at home, now going on the road against a Saints team that, to me, this is where I want to be with them. I want to take them at home. I think they're a different team at home. They're scrappier at home. I know the trends, you're going back multiple years here, they have not been good at home, actually, Saints, surprisingly. This team, though, just this year, I feel like they've looked better at home early in the year here. So, I'm pissed, obviously. Like, this was going to be an easy play. No doubter it was going to be in our contest, especially at 2.5 for the Saints. It's moved a lot. Don't need to force it. Can be patient here. If you do like the Saints side and you're worried about it, keep going up to 2. You can grab it now. That's what I'm saying. The trend of the direction right now, most of the books are at -112, -115 on the Saints, and a couple have already popped it too. So to me, that's where the professional money is moving this number. If you want to go Saints now, you can. On the flip side, if we can be patient, maybe this ends up as being a Giants side and a Giants number. If this gets the +2.5, that gets very interesting because it is a guy who's never won a game in Spencer Rattler, and now he's a 2.5 point favorite. I don't know. At some point, we'd have to come back. So
right. I agree.
Yeah, so I'm hoping this stays the Saints side because I'm already betting the Saints. I don't want to be trying to be the smartest guy in the room and have both sides here. I just want to stick on the Saints. So I'm hoping some professional money does come in on the Giants side and keep this right at where it is right now, which is at 1.5. Another line I might not force us in because, like Chad said, we've been burned by this number flipping on these sides here, but I can't help but really like the Saints here that they're going to be super desperate as an 0-4 team going against a Giants team that just is not that good coming off a huge win now on the road. So, yeah, interesting spot for the Saints team.
Crazy spot. It's like I feel like it's going to haunt me all week that it moves so much and I missed it on Sunday night. Even though I flagged it on Sunday night, I was just slow to the draw and didn't pull the trigger. Like something was holding me back. And
Spencer Rattler, I get it.
Yeah, it was Spencer Rattler. It was just holding me back. So now the number has moved too much and feels like a lost cause to me, unless we're going to bet the Giants. All right. Dude. Dallas Cowboys at the New York Jets. Jets currently 2.5. Listen, you talked about it on Sunday night wanting to grab the Jets when it was 1.5 because we were worried the Cowboys might get blown out and the number might move, in a direction against us. It's now moved to 2.5 because of all the fireworks by the Cowboys against the Packers on offense. The way the juice is moving, this could actually get to 3. Especially after last night with the Jets, basically just beating themselves from the opening drive and, dominating the Dolphins on the ground. Braylon Allen getting to the 2-inch mark and then fumbling as he's about to cross the goal line. And then the Jets just jetting, like so many self-destructive penalties, bad personal fouls, bad holds, bad illegal motions, bad illegal formations, like you name it. Every time they were driving, they would kill themselves. So look, Dallas and Dak are legit offensively. No one is denying that. I do think their defense is still terrible. The Jets were brutal. Like, I don't even like the Jets, and it was hard to watch. Simon, the Jets could be at the lowest right now. The Cowboys could be at their highest right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the Cowboys are definitely the square side, and this is going to be just like them against the Bears. This will be a huge public side, and it's not shocking. Like I said before that Bears game, Dak beats up on bad teams, and the Bears proved to us in that game they're not a bad team, and they beat Dak in that matchup. Can the Jets do the same, Chad? I don't think so. So this is a game I'll be patient with. There's already a bunch of threes out there. So, like, the professionals, the public alike, they are lining up on this Cowboys team. Let them bet it up. If we get 3.5, amazing. That will be one of the easier backdoor covers of our life, because you saw it last night with Justin Fields. Like, he'll do nothing for a half and then break out that one run, and then it totally flips their offense where now they have momentum. Now the defense is on their heels and a little tired. And that's what you have here, where it's Dallas is a bad team. I don't know how they can stop the run, which is what the Jets love to do. They love that read option, which, they were averaging, felt like 9 yards per carry against Miami. Like Chad said, that fumble after a 10-minute drive just totally reset that whole game, where instead of tying it all of a sudden or being up 7-3, they're all of a sudden down 10-0. And I just don't see the same here. I think this Jets team, once again, they're an 0-4 team. That's why I love early year of trends, because I'm excited to dive into these 0-4 team trends, that they're not only they're 0-4 at home as an underdog, guarantee they will be getting less than, 30% of the bets, 30% of the money. No one's betting this. Like I just said, they're professionals. Early money here is coming on this Cowboys side. So I'll be patient. Like I said, I knew Sunday night I was probably going to end up on this side of this Jets team, because it's just like I just thought that was a Miami spot, that they were probably going to roll there. And the public would be totally out on them after a primetime game. I did not know the Cowboys, like Chad said, were going to put up 40 on Green Bay and totally shock the world. So this is making me love the Jets even more. Just be patient. Grab the 3 if you want now. I'm praying we get the home dog of 3.5. And, speaking future contest lines, if this is 3.5, auto play on that Jets number, because that's way too much love for a Cowboys team that they are bad. They don't be mistaken by what these games in their offense. Dak is incredible. Dak needs things to break his win. You saw that. They were dead until what was it, 13-2 after they had that blocked thing, and then all these little things happened with Green Bay, brought them back in the game. So Chad's right. That's the fear with the Jets, is they're going to give them opportunities. This is a really bad team. They'll let Dallas in. We want the best number here with this Jets team if we're going to be betting it. Grab the 3. Wait for the 3.5 if you need to.
Yeah, look, I'm seeing 3s start to pop literally as we're talking about this. So one of the reasons I wasn't making this Chad Loves is because I wasn't seeing the 3s yet.
That's fair.
Now you're telling me that you think it'll get to 3.5. It makes me want to hold off. I've got one other game.
You never know that there could be real professional resistance here, but I'm just looking at all different websites right now, all the different books I can get for the different splits, and it's just tons of early money. Every book right now is on this Cowboys side. Forget
about the metrics, just historically the situation. We've been in the spot this year. You take the Jets. I'm not talking myself into making this Chad Loves, because I want to see if I can get a better number, but I 100% love the Jets here. Love them. Not Chad Loves, but I do love him. Tennessee at Arizona. Oh, boy. So when I mentioned off the top of the show, this is the time of year where we've got these really, really, really bad teams, and the models are going to light up. Take the Titans, take the Titans, take the Titans. And we got to make decisions about whether or not we're going to trust the models or trust our eyes. Arizona's 8.5-point favorite right now. It moved from 8.5 to 9.5 between Sunday night and today, and then came back down to 8.5. This stat is worth repeating. Titans are 3-18 against the spread since the start of 2024, the Brian Callahan era. We have not spent any time betting on the Titans, but we have not spent enough time betting against the Titans. What does that say about us? Like, we know enough to avoid betting the bad team, but not enough to bet against them. Are we victims of our inside info? I don't know what to do here. I know that the side to bet is the Titans. I don't want to do that.
Yeah. No, Titans are a team that when people say models are stupid and people overrate their models too much, this is the exact team they're talking about, because that's the issue with the Titans. Every week, any model is going to be giving them the extra 2-3 points sometimes, because they're quote unquote undervalued. And that's what sucks about them, where it's like they're not just because our computers say they are, the general public, that guy in the corner of the bar that just keeps yelling how much the Titans suck and how he's fading them every week, he's been right. He is right about his hate of this Titans team because they do suck. I mean, I told you, I can't get over how good Cam Ward is. And even some of their own fan base is starting to turn on him a little bit, which I just don't get. It's like, dude, Cam, without him, you guys would literally have zero pulse. Like, he feels like he's making wild plays that just other guys can't make. And this is going to be a professional side, this Titans team. I already know it. Arizona, even if we're just going the laziest metric, which is you look at their schedule this year, they started the season with the Saints. They won 20-13 at the Saints. Then they came and played the Panthers. They beat the Panthers 27-22. Then they went to the 49ers. They lost 15-16. Then they just lost at home against the Seahawks 20-23. It's pretty simple. They have not beat any team by more than one possession, or they've not lost by one more possession. This is the Arizona team. That's what Kyler, I feel like that sums up Kyler's career. He's going to be 8-9, 9-8, and every game will come down to less than a touchdown, him winning or losing. It's just who he is. So the professionals taking that number, and the Kyler trends as a favorite. He's terrible, right? Like I said, you only want to back Kyler as a dog. So I hate it. This almost got to 10, which is what I wanted. I was going to take Tennessee at 10. I'm looking now at a couple books, very sharp books. They're already at 7.5. So these professionals are suckers. They're suckers for pain. They're coming on the Titans once again. Bet it down. Let me get Cardinals 7. I'd rather be at there or 7.5 than anywhere on the Titans. So I hate this game. Happy to pass on it. Titans are the sharp side. No doubt the square side will be this Cardinals team. And that's where I'm going to end up. And again, we'll talk Survivor next week. Feels like the exact type of spot me and Chad love back to Cardinals when we lose somehow to this Titans team. But I can't avoid it. Everything is so wrong. You go back and watch Titans tape. Other than Jeffrey Simmons, that defense is a disaster. Arizona is going to be able to run the ball here at will if they want with Benson. And our only fear here is just Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray could screw us. I think that Seahawks game, that was the Kyler Murray game where he just doesn't play well enough. This is the type of game where he should bounce back, play well. So try not to be scared off of this one. Try not to be on this Tennessee team. Whatever I can do, lie to myself about backing this Cardinals team. I can't get there. It's just, once again, I get it. It's a Titans spot. It's a Titans number. But that team looks like it's totally checked out on its head coach right now.
All right, well, look, you just mentioned Seattle and that game against the Cardinals. Seattle's a 3.5-point favorite against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't really get what's going on with this number. It opened at 2.5. We really liked the Bucs at 2.5 on Sunday night. Now it's 3.5. And I'm trying to figure out what the move is. Is it injuries?
Injuries.
Todd Bowles was cryptic about Bucky Irving and needing an MRI. If that's the case, then it helps me walk away from this Bucs team. Because Seattle, in every respect, we talked about the Rams being one of those teams that is grading out really, really high. Seattle, at every metric, talking about passing the ball, talking about Sam Darnold, talking about handling pressure, talking about pressuring the quarterback without having a blitz. Like, both these teams are getting a tremendous amount of pressure on the quarterback. The Bucs getting the second most pressure, the Seahawks getting the seventh. But Tampa's blitz percentage is seventh highest. Seattle's second to last, which in this case is impressive because they're just not blitzing. They're getting pressure with their front four. Against the run, this Seattle team is as good as any the Bucs have seen. So I kind of get the move from 2.5 to 3 to 3.5, especially with the injuries.
Yeah, I think it's just injuries, but once again, I think this Seattle team just is highly overrated right now. And this is a Bucs great number. If you just want to bet the under here, I also love the under. I think this is two really good defenses. The Bucs defense is being slept on, in my opinion, just like the Seahawks were kind of being slept on coming into the year, and people have kind of gained traction now on this team that they see what I see, that this is a really good defense with Sam Darnold. If he doesn't turn the ball over and he can do what he does in those fourth quarters, those insane drives, which what made him so special last year with the Vikings, Seattle would be a really tough out this year. They'll be a good team. They could easily replace the 49ers with all the injuries they've had as the biggest threat to this Rams team, this division. So, statement game here for Seattle. They win this game, will earn a ton of respect from me. Will definitely give them a big bump in my model. And I love it. Like, the Bucky Irving stuff sucks. Bucky is massive, massive weapon to this Bucs team. And the fact that he's got an MRI on his, I believe it's his knee.
Yeah.
He's not going to play, in my opinion. If you're getting an MRI on Monday or Tuesday, the odds of you as a running back playing on a Sunday on an away game just doesn't happen. So I'm with you with the pause here, but I'm looking at Hard Rock here in Jersey live. It is 3.5. I feel like a sucker once again because this is a sucker number. Because they obviously they need the money on the Bucs. That's the only reason they moved it that, and they know guys like me will come in and take it. So interesting early movement here, them to touch that 3.5, and I'll take it here just in case. Bucky gets cleared, Baker gets cleared. Obviously, Godwin and Mecca Buka, if they're all healthy, I think this is going to be a tough test for the Seahawks team. They're being a little overvalued right now, coming off such a big win on Thursday. So, yeah, I'm gonna be on that Bucs side. But like Chad said, with all the injuries, I don't know if I'm gonna force it into our contest, let alone make it one of my favorite bets this week.
Washington at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers are 2.5 right now. I have no opinion on this game. No opinion. Like
I love Washington. I'm shocked you don't love a side here.
Why?
If Daniels comes back, this is a good matchup for him as a running quarterback. I think he can give major problems to this Chargers team and their defense, the way they play. And it really does come down to him and Terry, though. That's why, like, another game I could be patient on. I mean, there's very few threes out there. Hard Rock was at 3. They did move to 2.5. I'll be patient. To me, this will be all Chargers money. People are going to be hammering Chargers, especially if they think it's going to be Herbert versus Mariota. I like this matchup for Washington. I like the matchup for Washington's defense. I mean, as much hate as I want to give to Bobby Wagner in coverage, he is one of the best linebackers at reading when to blitz and when to stay back. And, I knew they gave up a ton of points, and they couldn't not stop the run last week against Atlanta. That, to me, was just a really bad spot for Washington, and they looked just defensively like they're totally lost. This would be a get-right spot against a Chargers team that those are huge injuries, right? Losing their top 3 offensive lines are out. And I don't love giving Herbert a really hard time, but he did have a ton of pressure in his face, and he did not adjust well to it. So looking at this matchup, I feel like will be a Commander's side, especially if I can get the +3 right now. Daniels does get cleared. This could move to a pick. Like, I just think these are two, with the injuries to the Chargers right now, I just view these as two very evenly matched teams, and I'd make with Daniels at home, I probably would make Washington a -3, -3.5 favorite over this Chargers team. So it's just strictly based off the injuries to this Chargers team. We've seen a lot of teams here just get really the whole team gets taken down a notch because of the injuries. You lose your number 1 tackle and then your number 2 tackle. How can you not act like that isn't a huge deal to this team that literally they used first-round picks on those guys? Their whole team was built around. I know we all love Herbert. They were built around that offensive line. That was Harbaugh's identity, right? They were going to bully you, and they were going to dominate you in the trenches. They're not that same team right now. They're not the same team we saw even against the Denver team. Like, they just are totally different now with all the injuries they've had. So, yeah, this is based on just the number. If this is +3 right now, I think you should grab that Washington based on my idea that I do think Daniels is going to play, that I do think Washington's playing a little coy, playing it extra safe with him last week, holding him out. I think he could have played last week. I agree with the decision, though. Hold him out for this game. They could have stole that one against Atlanta. I have a tough time seeing them steal this one with Mariota. There's a possibility. Mariota's done well. They've moved the ball offensively, but obviously Chad's on the same page as me. We want Daniels, especially for betting +3 with this Washington team.
Yeah, that's why I was sort of holding out. I didn't really have an opinion because
be patient.
But just as you're saying this, it's a 2.5 mostly. I'm seeing 1 or 2 threes. So if you're listening to this and you can get Washington 3, it feels like a good idea right now based on what Simon is saying. I'm definitely going to take Washington at 3. Little taste, just on the hope that Daniels is coming back.
Yeah.
Detroit at Cincinnati. Cincinnati right now is a 10-point underdog at home. It went from 8.5 to 9.5 to 10 after last night's Bengals bungle. We know the Bengals are really bad. We know Jake Browning has not been effective. I do think there are some differences, though, between how bad the Bengals looked and, say, how bad the Titans have been as comps, right? The Lions, to me, are getting at least 2 points of road inflation here. And they are also going to be missing DJ Reed, could be out for the year. Terry and Arnold left the game with a shoulder injury, yet to be known if he's going to be playing. He's also not very good. So they're going to be down one of their starting cornerbacks who is very good. The other one, we don't know if he's going to play, but imagine how bad the backup is if if the guy they keep starting is the one who keeps getting all the penalties. I think Amik Robertson's been great. I'm not discounting how good he's been for the Lions, but they're going to be in trouble in that secondary at their cornerback positions. Like, can't Jake Browning just fling it 3 or 4 times downfield to Jamar Chase to keep this game within 10?
It's fair to have a question mark at the end of that statement you just said. Can he, Chad? Can he? Because I don't know if he can, but what are we supposed to do here?
We're supposed to take the Bengals.
I know. That's what I mean. It's like you're supposed to take the Bengals 3-4 years ago. Would have been a no-brainer smash play, but we're in a new age. The public wins. The bookmakers don't adjust enough sometimes to these lines, and this to me feels like it should be 13. Like, the Bengals are a bad team. Me and you have never trusted their head coach. We've always had questions about him, and I'd have to go back and look, but it felt like at one point T. Higgins and Chase had 4 targets or 5 targets, and it's like that's on him. You could say it's on Brownie, but it's like he's the one designing these plays here. So Chad's nailed it. It's like there's ways for the Bengals to attack this Lions defense to succeed, but I'm not putting my faith in. There's one book still out there at 9.5 on this Lions team. I've taken anytime I could get the number under 10, I've taken it on this Lions side. Even I knew it was going to be super public, super chalky. I just don't know if the books have adjusted enough to this Bengals team. So I'm looking forward to hearing if there's any professionals taking this Bengals side and what their actual reason is for it, because this just feels like the type of game where guys like me, professional guys who bet big money, why would I not put the Lions into a bunch of parlays and their money lines into a bunch of parlays like I just did with Denver? It's like I just have no faith in this Bengals team. And coming into the year, I had major questions about it. As soon as they lost Burrow, it's like, okay, this is going to be a train wreck of a season. Like Chad said, normally back in the day, the Bengals bounce back here. They bounce back with the backup. We fade a Lions team that have had multiple weeks now of huge wins, and they should regress. But I just feel like the Lions are rolling. Bengals just feel like everything's so bad. I mean, just the coaching disparity here just feels like it's worth another point or two. That it should have been bumped up from 8.5 to 9.5, 10. So people can tell I'm just so out on this Bengals team, and I know it's probably the side I should be on, but I'll take the Lions side here, and I'll take the minus 9.5 if you can find it. But like Chad said, it's going up. Like, there's a bunch of 10s, 10.5s out there. So, I mean, Hard Rock right now is at 10. So if that's your only choice, I guess you can be patient or take your money elsewhere. But because I like the 9.5, just for the insurance purposes. But man, I in my model, I have it honestly as a Bengals line. I have it still at 8.5, but I think my model is wrong. I think this Bengals team is just a disaster.
I am shocked to hear you so out on a team that is a double-digit dog at home, coming off a blowout with all-world receivers, and a team that's coming into Cincinnati that is missing their 2 starting cornerbacks, potentially, at least one of them, that is coming off of 2 blowouts. Like, the inflation is just so high in the Lions right now, and it's so low on the Bengals. It's just astonishing to me to hear. You almost sound defeated that you're taking the Lions in this spot.
You know my favorite trend, which hit with Dallas as a 7-point dog against Green Bay, it's up to 21-1 now. A 7-point dog through the first 9 weeks of the season against the spread is 21-1 the last three years. So
is that at home?
Yes, at home as a home dog of 7 points or more through the first 9 weeks of the season. So it hit again last week, no doubter with Dallas. They fit this mold, but I can't get over what I've watched. Where Chad is right, the matchups are there, but if you go back and watch the all-22 of that game, Brownie's missing wide open guys that
Terrible.
Yes, like he is just
Truly
totally
terrible.
horrible. So I don't know what to do with it. It's a great spot, a great trend, like Chad's saying. It's painful though, but I'm on the other side.
There was a stat I read in a story on ESPN.com this morning about the Bengals. The Bengals have been bad forever. Like historically, they're a terrible franchise. The past couple of weeks have been their worst combined weeks in the history of their franchise. That's how bad they've been the past 2 weeks. So think about how bad the Bengals have been. People used to wear paper bags over their faces for the Bengals. The past 2 weeks have been the worst they've ever had. That's how bad it's been. Yet I'm kind of interested.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say it. All right, we got to do a prime time spotlight. We're doing something new. We know you guys want to bet Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. They're island games. They're catnip for gamblers. They call out to us. Starting this week, we're putting a little spotlight on those games, even if they don't fit into our content as official plays, because you want to bet them, we want to help you. New England at Buffalo, Sunday Night Football. Buffalo currently an 8-point favorite. It moved from 7.5 to 8. This is one of those where I want to back Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Like, both of these defenses are terrible. Like, we can say anything we want about Vrabel and this defense, maybe getting better, or, look what they did against the Panthers or whatever. But their coverage defense is truly awful. Buffalo is 29th. Buffalo is 20th. Pats are 29th according to PFF. The Bills' run defense, that's Pro Football Focus. The Bills' run defense is 29th. Pats are 22nd. Every week I ask this question. Are we ready to commit to Drake May in a game that could potentially be a shootout at what is now a big number?
Yeah, and how can you not be super excited if you're a Patriots fan about Drake May, right? He's been really, played really well this season. He's beat up on bad teams, which is you want your good quarterback to do. And I look at this Patriots team as they're still 6-7 players away from being actually good. Like
well, that's nothing. 6 or 7 players. That's nothing.
Yeah, it just feels like they have so many holes still. And like you said, defensively, it just feels like they have so much stuff to work through. So I wanted to be on the Bills. I could not believe I'll have to check. Yeah, it's still 50. It was 50.5, this total of this game. That was crazy. I know the Bills defense is bad right now, and Drake May is moving the ball downfield. I could not believe when I saw that total. That is a classic Sunday night under bet for your boy Simon here. So I'll be interested to see if that number comes down. The professionals hit this under on the 50.5, because that just feels totally inflated because it's a Sunday night game. And the thing what you said is so true, that what's scaring us off is the Bills defense, man. It's really bad, and they got major problems. But I think this is by far the toughest defense this season that Drake May's faced. You expect them to give him some problems to be able to attack it. And, you've seen Josh Allen, these exact games show up usually, especially after last week, that he just did not look right. And they still almost covered that game against the Saints, even on a bad day for Josh Allen. So, yeah, this is going to be very public, very square, this Patriots side. I think they'll be one of the more big public dogs of the week, just because this Bills defense has looked so bad. And in people's minds, this is going to be an open backdoor opportunity for Drake May. So I'll be patient, wait. I mean, there's 7.5 right now at Hard Rock. Can we get to 7? Can this be bet down more? Because to me, it just feels like the money will just keep coming on this Patriots team just because of the hook with that 7.5 or the 8.5. Like, the public is going to like that number. So another game I do want to be on the Bills, but it's Tuesday. I'll be patient. Hopefully get a better number.
You and I could not be in more agreement on that game.
Okay.
I'm super glad about that. I'd like to know if we're in agreement on this last game. Monday Night Football. Kansas City visiting the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are currently 3.5-point underdogs. Simon. Chad loves the Jacksonville Jaguars.
God damn it.
Look, if it was 2.5, I'd probably say we take Mahomes. But it's getting harder and harder to ignore the Jags. And not because like of Trevor Lawrence, who we both agree is probably the worst thing about this team right now. Their run blocking and their pass blocking, elite, amongst the top ranked by Pro Football Focus. The defense is not only creating multiple turnovers a game, which is, part luck, so that could regress. Fourth overall. To me, could a revived run game, and clearly their running game has been better with Travis Etienne the past couple of weeks, could they control a little bit of the Trevor Lawrence volatility against a run defense that is ranked 30th? And then I think, like, emotionally, are they emboldened by what happened in San Francisco? That was a game that 2 weeks earlier against the Bengals, they throw away. They came out, they made the right plays, they forced the fumble for Brock Purdy to clinch it. Liam Cohn goes after Robert Saleh after the game, like, shows some fight, gives this team some personality. Plus, it's the right spot for the Jags. You're getting the hook at home. Why did you say, oh no, or God damn it, when I said I love this? Because you love it too.
We're in the trust tree, right?
Yeah.
Did you bet the Chiefs last week against the Ravens? Did you put actual money on the Chiefs last week?
No.
I didn't think you did. So you just don't trust this Chiefs team. And
No.
even though I told you it was my biggest bet, loved it, told you that it was the spot of spots for the Chiefs, you still doubted it all week. And even on Sunday, you didn't put a single dollar on it. So
Not a dollar.
I think you're just too out on this Chiefs team, and you're just totally blind spot here where it's Trevor Lawrence going against a Spags defense. Isn't that the biggest red flag in the world to you, that you just said he's been bad? I'm trying to go through his numbers here because, like, I know they won that game. I did think it was because Purdy just putting his team in bad positions, which Mahomes won't do. And you do have a Trevor Lawrence. Again, it's a solid defense. I expected him to do bad. He was 21 of 31 for 174 yards and 1 touchdown. And, again, not terrible, but he definitely wasn't the reason they beat that 49ers team, right? It was the ETN who was averaging 6.5 yards per carry. So I think you're right. Maybe I'm undervaluing this Jags offensive run scheme that has been so great at not making you realize how bad Trevor Lawrence is and kind of hiding his weaknesses. And on the flip side, their defense, they do have a pretty good rush. They are better than they've been in the past defensively, but I can't help but worry about a Jags team that they beat the Panthers week 1. They lost to a backup in week 2 against Cincinnati, barely beat Houston 17-10 on a fluky game we both agree they probably shouldn't have won, and then beat a 49ers team that is just decimated by injury. Now they're going against a Chiefs team that looked to me like they turned that page, that was a springboard game where they had Worthy back. Their offense was clicking. You saw defensively they got confidence back. So to me, it's just about the number. If you want to take the Jags at 3.5, I agree with you. Historically, going against Mahomes, this is a good number. I am just terrified of this spot, and I totally want to fade this Jaguars team that's 3-1. This just feels like Monday night game. Jags down 30-7 entering the third quarter. Just total train wreck by Trevor Lawrence, who threw 3 picks. Like, I cannot believe you love this game. You're out of your mind making this your favorite bet.
Look, I really wanted it to be the Jets, but
yeah, you got to lock in the Jags, and we have to play in our contest because you're a psycho.
I'm a total psycho, and I
can't believe you didn't love the Chiefs last week. You're missing it.
I know. And you know what? I honestly felt so sick to my stomach that whole Sunday afternoon. I'm like, are you freaking
Don't
kidding
doubt
me?
The champs, man. The Chiefs. It's still the Chiefs. It's still got Spags, still got Mahomes, still got Andy. I get it. They look so bad, but, man, I can't believe we're back in Jags 3.5. But I see where you're coming from. This is a good number. Jags have been playing well. Maybe I'm being too disrespectful to them, but as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, my God. I'm getting – the Chiefs right now, a couple of books have them at 3, and I was like, that's the alarm bells going off because Chad's right. The professionals are coming on this Jags side. They're moving this number down to 3. So, again, I'm not trying to give you too much shit. I think your read is right here. From my standpoint, I'm just like, oh, my God, is this not a terrible spot? The Jags history, they always get rolled in this game where we all start believing, start drinking the Kool-Aid, and in come the Chiefs, the same old Chiefs who just – they just wear you out with that defense, man. They're just Spags. It's just crazy how good. Because they look so lost early in the year. It's crazy how now, 4 weeks in, it seems like they've turned it around. And Like I said, are we overrating this Jaguars team who've played a very soft schedule to start the year?
It looks like we're going to have our sharp versus square settled as well. All right, let's sort of.
But I'm telling you, their sharp side early here is that Jag side.
Oh, totally. It's the hook. Right. It's the hook. It's totally the hook.
It's the hook.
All right, so let's summarize here. I'm seeing Houston plus 3.5. That was Simon Says. We're going to want to talk about that. Denver plus 4.5. We're going to want to get some intel. I bet that'll be in sharp calls. New Orleans -2 was sort of a pass for me, but we can see how the line moves over the course of the week. Jets plus 2.5. It's moving to 3. It's going to be hard to avoid that one. Tennessee plus 8.5. I don't think we want to talk about it. Then we got the Bucs plus 3.5. You still like. We got the Washington plus 3, which I think I agree with you. And then we got Jags plus 3.5, which clearly we're on opposite sides.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some other games will pop up. Carolina minus 1.5 is one more that I want to think about. I'm hoping that line will move a little bit more in our direction so we can get a better number on Carolina. But spicy. I can't believe you called me out on that Chiefs game. How did you know?
Because I just know you, where it's like I still couldn't believe going back listening to our Sunday show that I'm too nice Sunday mornings. I'll be the first to admit that. I can't believe we didn't have that one in there. Where it's like I told you all week that was one of my favorite big bets, and somehow I got pushed out. I'm like, there's no way Chad bet that. Why did he talk me out of that Chiefs side? And I knew. I thought about it, and I was like, once I got my sleep, I was like, I know Chad. Chad did not bet that Chiefs game.
Do you know what's so funny? Is I thought about it, and like we've been doing the show long enough together, and we're genuinely good friends in real life. And so I know you well enough, like when you talk about some games and the way you frame them, I know that it's a game you really like. And I was thinking about this after I didn't bet it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. Like, how did I not recognize how much he really loved this game and like not actually go all in on it? And I felt like an idiot. So it's funny to me that you just completely called me out. So nice job, BFF. Nice job. And I'm glad you were thinking about me and how I reacted to it also. So that means, it's an equal relationship. All right. This has been Sharp or Square, part of the Volume Podcast Network. We will be back on Thursday with the games we are zeroing in on, plus our Survivor pick, our Sharp versus Square, which we know what that's going to be, brass ball, so much more. Watch or listen on YouTube at Sharp or Square. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Download us from Spotify, Apple Pods, wherever you get your pods. Rate, review, subscribe, leave us 5 stars, say whatever you want. Feedback is a gift. Till next time, love you.